My name is Catarina Lorenzo. I use she and her as a pronouns. And what else? I'm from Guatemala, indigenous from Guatemala, and from the Maya Ancobal community. And yeah, I speak my native language, that is Ancobal and Spanish, and I am on road with English. Then yeah, this is my first kind of maybe official workshop in English. I always do it, but I think this is a little bit challenge because all the what we are going to talk about is being like item. It's not like just doing little stuff. That's why for me it's like, yeah, it's a big deal. I also want to say thank you because yes, it is beautiful, but also acknowledge that this space is from the community that was here in the past, that also they are here, but we know that they are not on this land anymore officially. And I want to acknowledge the Narragansett community and also the Pokanoket and Mashapao community. Then yeah, I want to say that yes, this is a public space, but also was on for other community, that they need respect, and we need to remember that, and we need to acknowledge that point. As a community, as an indigenous person, I really take that in space. And yes, that's, and also, yeah, that is the part that I want to bring here. I propose to do this because for me it's better to review this concept that, oh, we talk about it all the day, but do we know really what they mean? Or like, because I have problem with certain concepts, it's like, I'm not sure, and like if I'm thinking that, maybe other people think like what I'm doing, what I'm thinking. That's why I put this here. Then we go to the first. Yeah, I was talking about food, like food, what is food? I'm hungry, I need food. Then I go like, oh, I pick McDonald's, or I pick like Dunkin' Donuts, or like, I need to fill my belly, right? And yeah, that's food, that's great. But when we are talking about what is originally was food, like, no, that is not food. Food is like something that have nutrition, that is safe, that is healthy, and little by little we are going for more like definite concept, I will say, and that's for me is like, but we don't think about that.
Thank you.
Yeah, then I feel like that. We know it if we discuss it, but when we are eating in the practice, we don't apply the real food meaning. That's why, like, for me, that is important to know. And there is like all the structure, the system that makes sure that we are eating the healthy food. And of course, United States and more other countries, they are part of that agency that they make sure we are eating that. But I will not say, but everybody know what is happening with our food system. That is not, we are not, even though we are part of the food agriculture and organization, that they see that we are eating the great food or the good food. It's not happening. That means we are not in the right space or step, I can say. Yeah, that's why I put that here. Okay, also nutrition. Like I said, everybody know what is nutrition mean, but okay, the process of providing or obtaining the food necessary for health and growth. Health, again, is health and to grow, like as a person, your body, to, yeah, just to, for that. That is the mean, like health and growth. Again, it's the same. Yeah, one thing here is like, yeah, we can get all that nutrition, but also we need to take care like how this product was grown, prepared, and all the process that need, like from growing to your mouth. That in the process also can be damaged, even though that product have like good nutrition when they are growing and they harvest it, or But in the process that is transportation, preparation, whatever is coming here, like here, and you get it in your hand at the end, you cook it and everything, it's not the same because all the process that happened to that food, also that we need to care that process, because yeah, that means all the process need to be something that we need to care about, not only like how to grow the food. We go to the next one. Okay, food security. Also that is something like, yeah, I was saying like, oh, this is Kata. I have money, I have a job, I can buy my food. It's great, and I can see how they grow my food, how they can prepare my food. Everything is great and guarantee that my food is healthy. Great for me. But is that only something we need to worry about or to care about? As me, as an organizer, as a community member from the Guatemala, I'm from Providence now. I'm living here for 7 years. No, 7 years or 10 years? I don't know. I was in Vermont for a while then. No. Also, it's not only me, Kata, as an individual. We need to see this as a collective, and also for all the people that, yeah, for everybody it's like a big issue. It's not only me as a person, because if I'm going to care only me, and we are in a system, anything that happens to this system is going to affect me at the end. That means, yeah, we can do stuff like only for us and not doing like, I know that we can be like big change in the world, but we need to also be part of those movements that is happening to change the food system or any change. And it's not only the food system, also the food system is connected with other systems, that all our system where we are like living. That's why for me also this is really important. And I bring them to my concept that is my favorite concept, or like some concept that I need to know, and we need to be participating in them. Where is the moments that working on this? And that's it.
Does that mean food sovereignty is the subgroup of food security?
Yeah, that is also, that. Okay, I have a perfect example for that. Okay, I'm hungry, Kata, and yeah, I need food. And I'm going to ask to any institution or the government that I need food. They're going to bring me whatever they have. It's not with my culture, and I have a different diet. I have certain needs as a person, but that's what they're going to give me. And there is the point where we are not satisfying the needs and for each community members. And I know it's difficult for each one, but you can. Is a way, or we need to make those way accessible to different community members. And yeah, because it's culture. I will say like, and I see this in different here, there, that the food is just like, oh, to everybody is rice, or to everybody is corn, or to everybody is like beans, or to everybody is like oatmeal. When you have, that's why, yeah, what you did in your plate is what you eat. And it's the ingredient that you need, that you feel happy with it, that you feel like you are feeling not only your belly because it's empty, no, it's you feeling your spirit, your soil, your culture, and a lot of things that you are feeling with that food. That's mean that, yeah. And yes, you need to have money for that. That's what I'm saying, like to everybody, not only for me because I have money or because I have access to the food. That should be to everybody. And yeah, I think, yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think in just our conversations, we always see those ideas as it's been tied up. I mean, I think you're going to talk about this one, but the idea of security and sovereignty. And the example that immediately comes to my mind is that, so Kat and I have a baby at home, a 1-year-old daughter. And in May, Kat's mom came to visit us, who lives in Guatemala. We brought her up in May. She's going to stay with us for a while, about 6 months. It's her first time ever leaving Guatemala, definitely, obviously the first time coming to the United States. And so one thing we were worried about, the process that Kata's gone through in the last 10 or so years is, I mean, is she going to like it here? Is she going to be comfortable and happy and everything? And so she came in May. Actually, one of the first things we did together was make our raised beds, which we've been needing to do to plant. And it's been a game changer having a garden in our backyard because she's been able to eat and plant stuff similar to what she would have at home. You mentioned like kimchi, right? She's got a whole bunch of similar stuff. And so thinking about food preferences or like culturally appropriate food, which we probably couldn't even get in supermarkets anymore, even like the Guatemalan markets here in Providence, having that has gone a huge way to making her just feel better. So when you think about food as medicine in that sense that you're going to talk about, it's something that heals our bodies, but also like our cultures and souls and stuff. And I've seen that being a big difference for your mom in the last couple months.
Yeah. I think for me, the tools that you are, we are in the right space. I mean in that because everybody here, we are growing. Not all the food, but we are growing the food that we need, the food that we can find at the store, or the food that we can't afford at the store. And when I said we can afford, that doesn't mean like the food that we are growing is free. People think that it's free. It's not free. It's just I have my time. I prefer to change what I'm doing with my free time, like or my hobby time. Like we said, some people prefer to do other stuff. I prefer to choose to gardening or to farming, whatever. Then I get food that I know where it's come from. I know what I'm doing with it, and it's fresh and all the good things about the food. That's why, I'm choosing that. And also, if I am not finding corn anywhere. The way that I do, no. And like you said, I have certain herbs that, one, nobody's going to like it because it's my cultural food. Second, I will not find in any market, even though with people from Asian people, we like, how can I say, like share some flavor stuff and some herbs and that, but I can find it, then I need to do it by myself. And another thing around that food that I like, people here usually they call it wheat, and it's not wheat for me. It's food because it's herb that I used to eat in my country, and when I find a little plant, it's like, oh, I'm going to carry on. Like, okay, take the other plant around it and make it. Hierbas, pero
everywhere. I always thought it just grows up in our fields everywhere. I forget, but people, it's like a standard thing.
Macuy, hierbabuena, and ¿cómo se dice hierro? Have a good like.
Lots of iron.
Yeah, and stuff like that, and that is okay. Then we are talking about that. Also, that is connected with native plants, and those plants is native right here. I no need to bring seeds in Guatemala. I no need to traffic seeds. I'm just saying, right? They're just here. Then I just need to recognize them and care them and cook them or process them. I know that other people go so far, like processing the food and eat in the winter. That also you can do that with herbs and everything. That is great, awesome. But that's something what happened with all this culture appropriate food and that you have access to it anytime. I will have an issue with that here in Rhode Island, and it's okay because what you have is you have the weather. It's cold, and I will not have all the food that we are saying now, delicious food all the year. Unfortunately, we can't have that. In other countries, yes, you can grow all the time, even though the weather changes a little bit, the season. Sometimes it's so like cold, but not like this cold. Then I understand that. We are not going to do anything against that. That is how is it, and we are going to let it be like that. And I think the way how we can like manage this is like learning how to process food and how to keep it in the winter, and how to do. And not all the items or food or veggies can do that. Some herbs or stuff I think can be delicious if you process them. But that's what I usually say about that. That means it's okay to be in Rhode Island and not asking food in the winter. Okay. Decide something is because you have power, right? Doesn't matter how little is the decision you're doing. If we are in that space and we can do it, we do it. And just coming to this meeting and just growing our own food, there is already action that we are doing. then we are already, how I can say, like participating in this. I think to do it bigger, I think that is the problem, because what happened is like we let this like, oh, to an organization or to the government or to whatever agency, like, but I think that is not going to happen. It's going to happen if more people do it individually. Then it's not only a theory, like it's going to happen, and the news and all that part is a practice that we need to practice in our home, in our community, and in the way how we live. If we do that, then it's less, how I can say, like less difficult to make it, because always when somebody else is doing something, get more complicated. I feel like that is the way I would like to, I think about this, because it's a big thing, and I don't think happening in my life, all these things, like changing all the people, changing all the country, changing all the practice, when we are here from decades or if not centuries of years, when we are eating how we are eating, and that is not going to change quick. And also that is not only for me, not only for you, it's for your family, it's for your kids, it's for your grandkids. It's like putting that seed and people can like think, and having that power on your food that you are eating. It's not like, even a little, I'm satisfied that I know what I'm eating, I know what I'm doing, and I can design those, I can take those actions, the little action that I'm doing with my health, with my life, with my kid, my family. That is enough satisfaction. And I also don't want to be like, oh, I can change this world. Oh. No, if that is my, how I can say, like my reaction, no, I think we just need to go and do the step that we need to do, and find those moments and connect it with all the police. I think we need to be aware what's happening in our city, what organization is doing what, and what is happening in our Congress, what policy is being passed, who is passing it, and why, and all the questions that we need to ask around. And do as people that vote each year, you need to care, and also demand to your representative those items. Is not only other stuff like this. What you are eating is who you are, your health. A lot of things is around that. If you eat well, maybe you get sick less. You are getting chronic sickness. ¿Cómo se llama la enfermedades crónicas menos? Yeah, you get then. Yeah, of course, the Department of Health is not going to pay a lot of money to carrying a lot of people that are sick and everything. We can eliminate all the sickness in the world because you are eating well, but you can decrease it, and you can like control also some chronic illness, because that's also we are going to talk about the next point. It's always, yeah.
So are you saying that food justice is looking more at government policies, but food sovereignty is people's belief in their own rights, which if we can change people's mindset to believe that they can take action rather than waiting for some policy to come down? Because I've noticed that a lot of the community gardens, when they have events, the politicians are showing up because there's a lot of people there and they know that they tend to vote. And so you're starting to see, like, if people start something themselves, then the politicians are kind of showing up and trying to offer more resources to them rather than if they were just saying, we don't have access to this or that.
Yeah, I think so that, yeah, about the politics people, I see that a lot in all the in the countries that I was in, not in all the countries, that there is a community already set up, a structure, and that is, sometimes we have community members that organize themselves, and they are not getting salary or getting anything. They are organized by themselves for their own benefit as a community members. And all the system of the government that they have budget and they have whatever they have, they use those system for their own benefit. And I don't like that because we are still doing our work, and you have money, you have resources, and you are using our work to make your work. No, I don't know, but yeah, but I feel like that is something here, like, so when I think about food sovereignty, yes, it's me, it's us. And that is the point that we have our power. Not only the food that we are eating, also we are going there, like having access to land, having access to all the resources that we need. Then, yeah, I think that's why I'm saying, like, yeah, community members, people having like a habit or like a practice that is not so like, it's something that happens normally, that is something happen, just you do it, like other stuff that we do. This should be something like our food. And of course, the government, they can do their own, because also they manage a lot of the system, like education. They can put some like more, how we can say, like, ¿cómo se dice, classes?
Classes.
Yeah, at the school for kids, also to learn stuff like this, and not only like, oh, your dad is so whatever, that is telling you those all, you need to go to the shop. Like, no, I think the school, whatever, especially when you are growing, you are learning a lot, and if you are getting the wrong information, then you think that is right. And but I feel like, yeah, I think we should have that on our own. And the government, they can do, and I also think that the less you let the government decide for you food, the better. Then we don't need to do like, oh yeah, the government, no. And okay, yeah, we are going, this is, I think I have this in 3 parts. And first I want to say, like, yeah, food sovereignty, like as a community or individual or like a culture, like, or yeah, different community and identity, we can start for this. At least for me, I know that here is different, but for me, for my people, if we don't have seed, no seed. You can find anywhere. You need to keep seed year by year, generation in generation, because that is the seed that grow in your climate, and also it's not MOG seed. It's healthy. It's for, and they're different. They just like unique seeds. For me, we should start there, because if you don't have seed, then you don't have anything. You can grow anything. You're going to bring to whatever Monsanto is going to give into you. It's like, do we really need to Monsanto seeds? No. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I can say something else beside this, because this is power. This is ownership. This is what you enjoy. This is what you know. This is what you grow with. This is your ancestor eat. This is what all, and also this is a legacy from your ancestor, that okay, this is what you, how to grow, when, because they have all the calendar, not like the calendar, but they have like how to grow your food and what seed is good in certain area. I think that is, you can find anywhere, and even if you put it in a book, could be different, I think, or maybe, but yeah, you can have the picture, but if you don't have the real seed, yeah, it's not going to work anyway. Yeah.
I mean, you know about this community libraries in Providence? They have a seed library. You know about that, right?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, they're great. I just maybe, I don't know if, yeah, I don't know really how about the seed here, the native seed here, because I know that a lot of people, we don't know the native food here, and we don't use them because we don't know them, because we prefer the food from this at the store, or because I don't know, but I need to be more curious about how we can use the food that we are getting here and no import product, or like even though state to state. Also, that is contamination. That is another process. If we use the most that we have here in Rhode Island, that could be great. And I need to know, yeah. I see them, but I'm like, I'm not sure if it's safe to eat this and that. Yeah, but that is my next step. Okay, we do that. I mean, I do it because it's not only for the purpose to see it, but also it's like, how I can say, it's the connection, emotional connection, all that spiritual connection. It's more than just see it. It's just more. It's not the action only to like keep see it. It's more like love. I think it's love. I don't know what is it, but it's just connection to this. Okay. Yeah. When we are exactly now, we are going to the polisa. Yeah. The action of the food, the quality of the food, what we want to eat is us. Nobody's going to tell me what I'm going to eat. But that's happened to the market. They already decide what is at the store. You go and I want to eat whatever cotton eat or whatever my culture I used to eat. No, but there is just, you find eggs, you find tomatoes, but the tomato that is not like our tomatoes. And that's it. Okay, now I need to figure out how to cook, how to make it close to tomato. I will start with that. Great, you have your bucket, you have your land, you have your soil, you have your seed. But if you have your own seed, great. Okay, some others say, oh, I will like a bed. Great, you have your bed and all the things, like, okay, do it. Some other, oh, I will have a place at a community garden. There is a community garden there, and there. This is the close to your house that you can walk because you don't have car, you don't have money to buy gasoline, you don't have like time to be in the traffic and go there and there. No. Okay, this is for you. Feed. Perfect. No, but cotton, no. I think I would like to plant corns, beans, garlic, or other stuff. Then I need a little bit more than bed and community garden. I need like a little bit farming kind. Then it's going. That's what I mean. Everybody is in different moment in growing, how to learn, and some of us, and I think, I don't know if I am assuming, but I know that some people is not going to get it where we are, and that's fine. Not everybody is like going to do the same. But I also know that there is people that want to do stuff, but it's just complicated. And either they don't have the resources, the time, the energy, because they are working in the job that is like so hard to do, like, or they are doing 2 part-time or 2 full-time, all those work that is difficult, and they need to maintain the family. They don't have energy to go wherever to garden stuff and other stuff that happen also, like gardening sometimes, I think. Then I understand that. And we can do anything about it. Personally, that is a decision, like, maybe they need like more access to something close to them. Maybe they need like more access of supplies or tools. Maybe they need like more education. Maybe they need more motivation. Maybe they need more like, and no, people is not going to say yes at the first time. You need more, people need more to know about something and say yes to something. Yeah, yeah, it's a lot. It's a big problem, and okay, for me, there is also some taboos. We need to clean our head. We need to put the right information and take out all the TV information, all the big farm information, or at least anti-racism too. Because for me, this is what I know. It's like, if I am from Guatemala, I'm planting corn right there. I'm going to United States when all the image I see in Guatemala is Florida, is Hollywood, is New York, all the good ladies, beautiful, and all the good, great things, and big house, and great food, and the life is easy. Of course, I want to go to the United States. And I came, but not in that way, but I'm here and I'm seeing other places that I didn't see. And people come here, and sometimes, not everybody, but it's easy to say, oh, I'm United States, I'm going to work in whatever, but not in the work that the people used to be there like, oh, farming, that is for the people from the other country. Here in the United States, you are doing different stuff. Or, yeah, it's easy to buy fast food. Or, yeah, I think that is the word. Like, you bring it, boom, at the microwave. That's it. Great. That is what I saw in the TV. That is the market there. And that is what I have here. And when I am thinking, oh, now I'm going to grow my food. Oh. But also, I am immigrant. I don't have those privileges. I don't have the connection. I don't have the education. I don't have the knowledge. I don't have all the resources that need to be first to have a good life with my family. I even don't have a house. Sometimes I have a car, right? Some other times, no. But you're going to talk me that I'm going to farm. That I need to go here to there. And also, I don't speak your language. And also, you are saying that I need to follow your rule. And one thing that I find for me, it's difficult because you go to a space and you're going to farm, you need to follow the rules because there always is rule, and that's good. But also like, oh, I'm not feeling good because, you know, I'm going to plant here this year, but next year, who knows if it's going to be available for me. And I don't have a long-term vision. And for me, Kata, I like long-term vision, or like medium-term vision. Like, I like to see myself here to 5 years. Then I can do things well. Because if I'm going to, okay, let's try this year or this month, what am I going to do is just because, let's try it. But if you have like, okay, you can do this, and you can have this plan for, yeah, if you are going to work on it, do it. Then you can like, oh, I can think like planting, and that is my experience that now we have a farm, but it's not our farm, it's a renting farm. I see like, I would like to do this, I would like to do that, but it's not our. I feel like sometimes I make it my own because I'm working on it, but it's not. Legally, it's not. Then that is like stopping me to other things. Then I feel that is happening also. And yeah, and all the stuff that you said, that communication and the marketing around should be, yeah, that word sexy, because yeah, I think it's so easy, like farming. When in California, they are running people to do all this stuff, and they're not getting good pay for that. They're not. It's under the 90 or 100 of hit. Like no, that. It's just, you can sell something that you see in the TV, or your people, some of our community members tell to us what is happening there, and somebody else come like, oh, it's just, I can say like a trauma. That is a trauma for me, or like a suffer thing, like, it's better to be away from that thing. Like, yeah, I don't know how to switch and make that this is for you, that is, we understand, we learn, we know that this is happening, and it exists. That is, we are participating in this, but we need to make a new way or path to do stuff. I don't know how to say, but hopefully we can have the right message to get that message to the people. For me, this is the more important, like resources. Yeah. You said something like, okay, we do grow in this building. And I said, we are not going to where it was in, who knows? We are going to work with what we have now. If we are in 2022 and we have technology and other life, we need to manage ourselves also in this way. And what I see in this, the need is fun. Do you pay taxes?
Yes.
I think everybody pay taxes, right? Do they ask you how much you need to pay? No. We can ask money because we are paying taxes. When there is a state discussion about the budget, we should be there. I don't know. I don't know all the items on the budget. How much is for food? How much is for farming, but not the industrial farming? How much is for community? Directly for food, good food, healthy food, great food. We don't know. I don't know. I don't know if somebody knows. That's great, and congratulations to you. I don't know, and I don't participate in it. If I am not participating, I know I have been in a few meetings, but not like in the whole thing. If I'm not doing it, how I'm going to think that community members that have a ton of problems worry about having food, eggs on the table tonight. It's not going to worry about, and that is the income disparity that people that don't worry about money, about how what you're going to eat today, how you're going to pay your rent tomorrow or when the month ends. We have more time to think about solution, about benefits and others, but people need, like some other people think about immediately and urgent need, like food. If you don't eat today, tomorrow is going to be and if you don't pay your rent, bye. Those things people make like also like I think, and I know that the majority of low income, they are having this issue, then that's why, yeah, it's a big deal. But yes, yeah, we can ask that our tax can be used to something good. I don't know what else to say. Like, we have tools, we have money, if we have land, we have those things. Oh, I don't see. I think I put compost right there. Also, you need compost. If I have land and I don't have the right, I don't have water, there is a system, right? We need water, we need to have like understanding also how to use water, how we don't throw food, how we can use the ugly fruit, because not everything is beautiful, like the market. There is the products that is not the great one, but they are delicious and useful. I think we have a lot to learn. Okay, this is part of the food sovereignty, like GUAR, or ancestral knowledge and recipes. For me, yeah, I already said this. Anytime I'm putting a seed, I'm imagining and hungry about thinking of the food that I'm going to get this. This is how I get. I don't know if people do that, but it's like the corns, the beans, it's going to be delicious. And that is already happening on my mind. But if I don't have the recipe, if I don't know how to cook it, I'm not like I'm open mind. I eat other food, I appreciate other food, Asian food, African food, all the foods, great. But I also want to keep my recipe, the way that we do. Because if I don't do it, who's going to do it? It's going to disappear. And I know in the world thing, there is some food that is great in all the corners of the world, but also there are some other food that doesn't appear in anywhere. That means I feel, maybe it's not my job, but I feel like, yeah, I am the one that need to keep those knowledge. And why I'm saying knowledge, because could be a great example if we have more time. Like, I put 5 ingredients, and everybody need to cook it. You have your own ingredients. I'm sure that everybody's going to cook how they think should be cooked. And that's it. It's like that, work like that. You think or you cook it in the way that you know when you grew up, or your parents or your grandma or grandpa told you to do that. That's great. But we can like, oh, this should be like this way. And that's why I put that here. It's not only growing, it's all how to prepare it, how to mix everything, and you are going to get the final product about it, and that's it. Thank you. We go for the next one. It's already good.
What I was talking about before, it's stuff we've grown in the last month or so. Well, for all of us, me included, not for Guatemala, but especially for Kata and then my visiting mother-in-law, that we've been able to grow here that is similar or the same as what you might grow in Guatemala, but then prepared in a way like what we would do if we were living back at your home, you know? So like those are fava beans or tomatoes, she had those big, it was basically just zucchinis that we let grow to be huge, because that's one, it's not zucchini exactly people grow in Guatemala, but kind of similar, that they let to grow huge and then prepare it in a totally different way than what I ever grew up doing. And then fava beans, and then what? Those are the tamalitos that you mentioned, the corn dough cooked.
The leaves of the corn.
So even for just going out into the cornfield, even like a month ago when there were just little plants, obviously no corn yet, you know, stealing some of those leaves that you use to wrap up the corn dough, and then it gets steamed, and that gives it a particular flavor and texture. Obviously you don't need the leaf, right? The leaf is just a container. That was effectively medicine because it
Yeah.
made everybody feel so wonderful.
That's why I will not say, because I read about that and I see some books and all this stuff, and it's like, how I will say, because for me, medicine, you can think in two ways. You can think like medicine in my own way, but where did that word come from? Medicine, the hospital, the pharmacy, the doctor's appointments. No, I don't like that. But if we talk it about, that's why food, that's why we say the concept of food. What is food? And also farm. I like that to define farming. I didn't put it right there because, yeah, it's too much to put, but it's good to know that. Yeah, food is already medicine. It's already a good thing. We don't need to change and to marketing, to use marketing to make it. Your food is not good. If you are eating real food, right? Good food, healthy food. You don't need to marketing that this is the real food you need to eat. You already have the food. Continue, keep going, keep doing it what you are doing. Continue eating healthy. You will be like whatever it's going to be, because also I think when something happens to you like chronic sickness, it's going to happen. You are going to get old. Your system is going to shut down anyway. Even though we eat healthy and great and whatever food is, our time is going to end at then. But what we can do when we eat healthy food, great food, I don't know what I said about this, and it's just going to maintain or like prevent some chronic illness. And if you already have one, you can, that is the diet, you can balance your diet and eat delicious, enjoy your food. Your belly is going to be happy, your mind, your health, mental health. And what I also say as food as a medicine, if that we use that in this way, I will say that, yeah, all that process around, all my thinking, all my dream, when I am going to the farm and working, all that happiness that I am feeling, that is already a medicine I am getting on my body, because when you are feeling in that way, you are feeling positive, happy, and hopeful, and that great thing is going to come, or you are going to harvest later. That is already medicine. And if you are also bringing all this knowledge of your ancestor, your culture, all the food that you decide to plant and to grow, I feel like the process is already great to complement themselves. Yeah, I think you know it. You know when you are growing something, you feel like happy. I don't know, like you can say spirit, soil, like you can say my culture, you can say my belly is happy, I feel happy. For that?
Kata always says is going to the garden or the farm is her psychologist and her gym. All in one.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, because you put your body working, and I also have a work that is not the happy work, and I am always stressful, but when I just go to the farm, I forget that there is other work going on. I just focus and thinking and working. And yes, feel good to be outside, especially in a city. Yeah, that's why I didn't put any define here. And also there is some wrong understanding about food as medicine. Maybe for me, that when is the marketing used, like this is the food salvation, like this is going to keep you, this is going to save you from whatever you have already. Give me the most money you have and I will give you this product, especially when we are also thinking about those pyramided business that they sell power of fruit, power of I don't know what, and this is happening in the community. This is, I'm not saying this, I'm not inventing this. This is happening, that they sell magic fruit, magic power, magic to how I can say, like, to cure you whatever you have, like your chronic illness. And what I said to them is like, what is the difference between what you are selling and what I'm growing? convince me. Then we just, everybody having their own thing. And I think that's why I feel like food is already food if we are eating the correct food, the food that we see that the definition should be to be healthy, should be to grow, not for businesses, not for money, not for just because you need to keep, you have an empty and a belly and you need to put something there and that's it. That is not it. If we're doing that, we're not eating food. I think so. But maybe I'm and that is a reality that is where we are. That's why we are changing the definition of food. Food is what I'm eating and fill my belly. That's it. No, shouldn't be food that.
Okay, computer.
No, that's it. What is coming there is conclusion that we can change the world.